watching Food Whims and Whimsy, and I'm Carmen Pasquale, and in preparation for the Super Bowl, I'm going to be making a lot of fun foods, but for this episode, I'm going to show you how to make pizza buns. Before we begin, let's go over the ingredients. So we'll be using bread flour. This is about 4 to 5 cups. We'll see how much we're going to be using today. 1.5 cups of warm water. This is about 5 teaspoons of rapid yeast. 1/3 cup of olive oil. Salt. This is about 1.5 teaspoons and 2 tablespoons of salt. Now for the sauce, we are going to be making a quick tomato sauce with San Marzano tomatoes, some fresh oregano, some dry oregano, some garlic, salt, pepper, and a little basil. Now to add to our pizza roll, we're gonna do pepperoni and sausage today, and mozzarella cheese. So we're gonna start with the dough, and the dough is gonna be made in the KitchenAid. So right in this KitchenAid bowl, I'm gonna add the 1.5 cups of warm water. That's right from the tap, warm. And I'm gonna add the yeast. Now the yeast needs to bloom a little bit. If you're not sure if it's past its expiration, you always want to bloom it. Otherwise, you can go ahead and throw it right into the flour. But you want to just keep it in here, and it's going to go for about 5 minutes. So it's been a few minutes, and I can see that there's been activity with the yeast, so we know that it's ready to go. It's good to use. Now I want to add the 2 tablespoons of sugar. And this is food for the yeast, so the yeast really loves sugar. And we can start adding the other stuff, the olive oil, 1/3 cup. And I just want to give that a little mix. I'm going to add the salt after I add the flour. So I'm going to start with 4 cups of flour, just to make sure we're going to need it, because we may not need 5 cups. And we really want to just make a nice soft dough. So with my dough attachment, I'll just go ahead and start mixing this. And we're going to need this for about 8 to 10 minutes, adding the extra flour if we need to. Lock on and start on a low speed. So now that I added the 4 cups of flour, I'm thinking that I'm not going to add any more flour because it's at the consistency that I'm looking for. So at this stage, I'm just going to knead it for 8 to 10 minutes with the machine and let it do its thing. Get nice and smooth and elastic. So that's what we're making. Flour is in the bowl, and it's been kneading for a little bit. I'm going to add 2.5 teaspoons of salt and let it go for another few minutes, 6 to 8 minutes. So the dough's been going for about 10 minutes right now, and it looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and shut it off. Just give it a good, take it off the dough attachment. I'm actually going to take this dough attachment off, and I'm going to let the dough rise for about an hour to an hour and a half right in this bowl. It feels pretty good. See, I'm glad I didn't add the extra cup of flour because it really did not need it. Okay, this looks nice and smooth if you can see the texture. It's very elastic and nice and smooth. So I'm just going to add a little bit of this oil that was left over. And oil it a little bit. Oil both sides since we have the oil. Okay. And now I'm just going to cover it right in this bowl. Like this. And I also like to put a little plastic on it. And I leave it right here. So I'm going to leave it here for about an hour to an hour and a half. So now that we have to wait for the dough to double in size, I'm going to go ahead and show you how I get the other ingredients ready. So I'm going to saute this sausage, just regular Italian sausage. Maybe three links should be good. Maybe 4. If we have any extra, we'll just put it on top. And what I do is I just take the casings off. Let me just warm up this pan. Take the casings off. And while that's heating up, let that go for a little bit. I have just that little bit of oil, so I'm just gonna add it. Not that you need to, but why not if I have it right there. Okay, so we'll use about 4 links, and I'm just gonna add it to the pan just like this. So the sausage is exactly where I want it to be. It's nice and golden brown, so I'm gonna go ahead and take it off. Close the garlic, that looks pretty good. So let's keep this off to the side. To do the tomatoes, these are San Marzano tomatoes. They're the best tomatoes. They're so sweet and they're delicious, and it's from Italy. So I like to use these because you don't have to add any extra sugar or anything like that. Now this is a food mill, and I'm going to be using the food mill to puree the tomatoes. This is how my father taught me to do it, and that's why I do it this way. And he was an excellent cook. So now that I've passed through all the tomatoes, I'll go ahead and take this off. And you can see that it's left behind the pulp of the tomato without the seeds and the peel, and that's the reason why we do that. But I want you to know that you can use any pizza sauce that you like. You can even use canned or leftover spaghetti sauce. It's really up to you, but since I have these tomatoes, that's what I'm going to be using today. And I'm going to cook it. Now, when it comes to pizza sauce, you don't really have to cook it. But for this pizza bun, I'm going to go ahead and cook it for a little bit. So I'm just going to add a little olive oil, the garlic, right to the pan. I like a lot of garlic. Let that go for a few minutes, and I like to cook it till it's golden brown. Some people say just cook it until it gets just a few minutes till it's tender, but I like to push it a little bit and go a little bit golden. I think it really brings out the flavor. So now that the garlic's at this stage, golden brown and ready to go, I like to add the herbs in. The herbs, be careful because they do pop when they hit the hot oil. And now I'm adding basil to the pan. I'm adding fresh oregano. Now, good pizza sauce has a lot of oregano in my opinion. So I add not only the fresh oregano, but also the dry oregano. And you know, it really does have 2 different flavors, so you want to add both. Now I kind of eyeball it, but if I have to say, that might be about a teaspoon of dry oregano and 2 or 3 sprigs of fresh oregano with 2 or 3 pieces of basil. Now I also like to add a little red pepper. Just a little pinch. Well, a lot or a little, it's up to you. And then I add the tomatoes, just like this. Add the salt and pepper. And just cook it for about 15 to, some people like to cook it longer, 30 minutes, but actually you don't even have to cook the sauce, but I'm gonna let it go for about 20 minutes. And there you go, simple sauce. So it's been about an hour and a half, and the dough has doubled in size, and now we just want to kind of deflate it. Okay, so we'll just put it onto just a basic countertop. I'm not going to flour it. If you need to, just add a little bit of oil, but this is already well oiled, so it's going to stick fine to the counter. So you want to roll it out to about 12 to 18 inches. That's about right. Okay. Now, if you find that you put it on the counter and it's pulling back and it's hard to stretch, just let it relax another 10-15 minutes. But this is perfect, so I'm going to go ahead and start assembling it. I like to start with just a little bit of olive oil. I do have a little olive oil, garlic, and oregano right in there. Just put a little bit on here, just for flavor, really. It also has a little tiny bit of salt. Not too much, just a little, just like that, okay. Just like that, not too much. I have a tendency to overstuff everything, so I'm gonna try to be a little careful here. Once you get all the ingredients, thrown on there, you just want to go ahead and roll it up in a tight little bundle, a tight little roll, starting from the long edge. There you go. Now, we are going to have to cut this. If you find it too difficult to get nice clean cuts, you can freeze this for 20 minutes and then come back and cut them. But being that this is just a casual Super Bowl party, I am going to cut it right now and put it on my prepared cookie sheet. Okay, so I'll do that now. The first one's not always the prettiest. Now that they've been cut, now we're going to let them rise again for a second time for about an hour until they double up. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of olive oil and Parmesan cheese. We got 11, so we got almost a dozen here. We add a little bit of cheese. So now we're going to let them sit for about an hour. Somewhere in between, in about 30 minutes, you want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And then we're going to cook them off for about 25 to 30 minutes. So now that the buns have doubled in size, it's been about an hour. I'm going to throw them in the oven, 350 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes. Okay, they're ready to go. Look how nice these look. It's been 30 minutes and they're ready. Oh my goodness, they look gorgeous. Thank you for watching Food Whims and Whimsy. If you like this video, please comment. Let me know what you guys want me to cook. And I hope you have a wonderful Super Bowl and enjoy these pizza buns. They're very easy and you're gonna love making them. Thank you.